Welcome to Prime Testimony Channel. People usually have reasons for doing what they do, or they have reasons why they take certain decisions, but it is important for you to verify certain advice that people give you. Sometimes people take certain decisions, and if you are not careful, you may easily condemn them. But it is important for us to find out the reasons why they take those decisions. It is so surprising sometimes for you to hear that in this present age, people believe in the fact that when you take care of your child and the child grows up and he become or she becomes somebody in society, the child will take all the wealth to the mother's family. And because of that, some men decide not to do their best for their children. And you hear them making some local statement that, oh yeah, or and that's oh yeah, or they call or mami ebushim. In times past, people used to make those statements because of the matrilineal, inheritance that prevails in the Akan communities, especially in my country, Ghana. So people believe that when one succeeds because of a form of inheritance, it means that everything that a child will gain in life will go to the mother's side or will go to the mother's clan. And for that reason, some people never bothered to take good care of their children. Interestingly, those people sacrificed all they could for their nephews and nieces, especially the nephews. It was common to see some people taking care of their nephews, taking them to schools, while their own children, they will not mind them because of that mentality. And you may ask, do some people hold this mentality in this 21st century? The answer is capital yes. And what will surprise or shock you is that these are not the people that are living in smaller communities or remote villages, but we are talking about people that are living in towns and cities. Some of them are living so close to secondary schools and universities, yet they hold that mentality that when the child grows and succeeds, he's taking all his success to the mother's clan. My father, my uncle. There's a kind of mentality that I think we should change. It is very, very painful if you have a father who has the ability to take care of you and he shirk his responsibility because of this notion. Another thing we must also take a critical look at is the kind of advice that we receive from friends. There are some friends, they will take all their children to school, take the boys to school, take the girls to school, but they will go and give ill advice to their friends that, oh, these days, when you finish school, you don't even get job to do. So don't worry. You can let the child drop out of school and go and learn trade. Learning trade in itself is not bad. It is a good thing. But why should a child drop out of school in order to be able to learn trade? In times past, people thought that it is those who are not academically good that learn trade. But these days, it is not true. People finish first degrees and go and learn trade. People finish a diploma, they go and learn trade. People finish secondary schools and colleges and they go and learn trade. Much as it is important for one to get some handiwork or get some trade to do, it is important for people to have classmates. I always say that I wish everybody would be able to have the basic education in terms of, from nursery to the secondary school or to technical school. You have that one, before, if you want to learn some trade. Of course, for technical school, the trade begins from the first year. But those who go to secondary school, it is important for you at least to finish that one and learn a trade. Because, if somebody finishes secondary school and does not even pass very well, it is different from somebody who did not attend secondary school at all, because that person has classmates. I usually say that if you have classmates, you have opportunities. Of course, I know it's not everybody that will be able to go to school, but at least the free, compulsory, basic education, we must try to have it as Africans. It is very, very important. It's very, very important, because if you don't have classmates, you may think it is nothing, but later on in life, you will realize that you are losing so many opportunities, because you don't have a lot of links, what we call links, or the kind of exposure that you need to push your business forward. So, as much as possible, men that still think that if a child succeeds, the child is taking it to the mother's clan or the father's clan or those things. I think we should think differently. Some people also believe that it is difficult to get a job, so education is not important. My brother, my sister, my friend, education is very important. If you do not go to school, how can you be an Uber driver or a driver that drives a Bolt cars? You need to be able to read, at least to know the expiry date on the products you buy from the shop. So although some people may not have been privileged to go to school, it doesn't mean that education is not good. Sometimes the way education system is wired, it makes it difficult for people to be employable. However, there are changes being made, but that doesn't mean that education is not important at all. So going through what I've discussed, we must think creatively. We must have a developmental mindset, and we must not assume that because there are little or less job opportunities, education is not important. And most importantly, we must evaluate decisions, or we must evaluate suggestions that come from friends. Sometimes you may be going to farm, or you may be going somewhere, or you may be sitting in a bus and you hear some people conversing, and you can realize that the one that is giving that advice either does not understand the kind of educational advice he or she is giving to the colleague, or the person knows it but is intentionally giving ill advice. If somebody gives you advice concerning your children's education, please do wider consultation. And as much as possible, involve your children in deciding the kind of trade, the kind of courses that they would want to learn. Because when they learn something that they would want to do themselves, it is better than forcing it on them. Otherwise, the child may go and learn that trade, but they may not even use it to work, or may not even practice whatever he or she learned. Please, they are good friends and they are bad friends. So be careful who counsels you. I remember I attended somebody's wedding many years ago, and the preacher was giving us a lot of, nuggets that I took a lot home. And the title of the message that day was, "Who is your counselor?" Even in marriage, depending upon the person that counsels you, formally and informally, to a greater extent, shows how well your marriage will be able to stand. It is important for us to take advice, but we should evaluate advice that we receive well, so that somebody doesn't give you ill advice, which will be detrimental to the development of your children. It's about time we stopped talking about the fact that when your child grows or succeeds, he's taken to your mother's clan. I think that idea is totally backward, and it's about time we renewed our mind, and it's about time we had developmental mindset, so that we'll be able to do the best for our children. My name is Ato Brentishan, and this is Prime Testimony Channel. In case you have not subscribed, please do subscribe and share the videos. Until I meet with you again in my next video, I'm saying thank you very much. Bye-bye. God bless you.